Hi, my name is Carl Adams. I'm the wrestling coach at Boston University. This is the 8th tape in a series of technique tapes that I have put together. This tape will cover essential takedown drills, strategy, philosophy, and technique. The first subject I want to cover is how to drill wrestling techniques. I've broken the process of learning drills into 3 phases. The first phase is the learning phase. It is always helpful if a wrestler can see how a technique looks in its entirety. It will give him a better idea of where he's headed as he works through each individual phase of the technique. The second phase of learning a technique is to break the technique down into its component parts. Attacking the opposition on your feet usually involves the following component parts. The first is position. The second component is the setup. The third is penetration. The fourth is position of your body at the point of attack. And the 5th phase is the finish. I'll cover different phases now with my partner. My partner today is going to be Rick Lynch. Okay, let's cover these different phases on a single leg tackle. As I said before, the first phase is the position phase. Before you attack the opposition, you want to make sure that your body is in a good position. That means being in a good position to attack, as well as being in a good position to defend yourself. Okay, the second phase is the setup. Anytime you attack the opposition, you're probably going to have to use some type of setup. So in this situation, we're going to use a head snap. So I'll come out, pop the head. If the opposition reacts, then I'll go into the next phase, which is the penetration step, the third phase. When you penetrate, you make sure you step deep, at least to where he's standing at, drive to the knee, and work yourself into position so that you can now work for your finish. The 4th phase is the position of the body at the point of attack. There's a couple things you need to look at. Where you step and the position of the head. Your finish oftentimes will depend on how he reacts to this position. Or sometimes you can just follow through and finish your technique just by following around in a circle on a single leg tackle. I'll give you for instance. From here, rather than stop at this point, we'll just follow through and rotate behind his body. The 5th phase is the finish. And as I said before, the finish will, a lot of the time, depend on how my partner reacts. Let's run through those phases again. The first phase is position. You want to make sure that your body is in a good position before you attack. In this situation with the single leg tackle, it's always a good idea to have your penetration leg out front, especially if you're going to be attacking that side. You want to eliminate all of the unnecessary steps before you start to attack. Okay, the second phase is the setup. Somehow you're going to have to get this man out of position. It may be a head snap, it may be a shoulder tap, but we're going to try to get him out of position. So the second phase, in this case, is going to be a head snap. I'll snap his head. As he pops up, I'll go into my 3rd phase. That's the penetration step into his body. Okay, now, once you get to this phase, the next thing you want to look at is the position of your body at the point of attack. My head is on the inside, my foot is on the outside. I'm in a nice strong position to finish my takedown. The 5th phase is your finish. Okay, in this situation, I might want to rotate behind, get control of the leg, come up, then work for my takedown. The 3rd phase of learning a specific technique is to drill the entire move. Techniques should be drilled at 3 different speeds: slow, medium, and fast speed. I'll demonstrate what we're talking about. I'm going to show you the high crotch. If you're working on a high crotch, the first thing you want to do is feel your way through the entire move at a slow speed. That will ensure that you'll get the entire technique correct. So from here, if we're going to do it slow, we take the step, we dip the knee, head position, body position. Now we move up to the feet and cross into a double. Okay, again, slow speed. Then, after you've done it at slow speeds, then you work up to medium speed. This will give you more confidence in doing the technique. After you've done it a few times at medium speed, Then you work it at the speed that you would perform it in competition. That's the most important part of drilling it in 3 different speeds. You have to drill it at the speed that you're going to perform it in competition. Drilling at 3 different speeds will help your drilling tremendously. It will allow you to learn the technique correctly. It will give you confidence in the technique, and it will also allow you to do it at the speed that you're going to perform it at in competition. Another very important aspect of drilling is to try to make your technique as effective and as efficient as possible. To make this possible, you need to eliminate all of the unnecessary steps in your techniques. This will increase your speed and timing. I will give you an example of what we're talking about. We're going to run through a double leg tackle, a posting action on a double leg tackle. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you're in a good position to attack him. The position is very important. For instance, I'm going to penetrate with my right leg. If I have to bring my right leg from this position up into a penetrating position, it's going to take a little bit more time. So what I would like to try to do is get my penetration leg out front. That's important. Now, if the opposition reaches out, when I post him, here's another way that you can save time. As you post him, you don't raise your head as you post him. If anything, you lower your center of gravity like such. And you notice, as I lower myself, I don't lower my head, okay? I lower my body by bending my knees. So as I post him, I lower my body. Now, the next phase is the penetration phase. As you post him, you should be posting and stepping at the same time. If you post and then step, you lose a part of a second. This is very important when you go from the setup into your penetration step. So it should be this action, like that. You'll be surprised how much time and how much more quicker you'll be if you do your post and your step at the same time. So let's look at this again. First position. Now, as we post him up. If anything, we go lower. As we go lower, we start to step. Now, into his body, into a double leg tackle. So again, try to eliminate the unnecessary steps. Another thing you need to keep in mind is that when you're stepping into him, very seldom will you have to take more than 1 step. It should be 2 at the very most. And the second step would be a circling type motion whereby you push off and then step. Oftentimes I'll see wrestlers take 2 or 3 steps, maybe even 4, before they actually get into the opposition. You really only need to take 1 or 2 steps. If you do anything more than that, you're going to be wasting time and you're going to get yourself out of position. Again, watch this again. On a double leg tackle, penetration leg forward, your body's in position to go, hands are inside for a posting action, as well as in a position to protect your own legs. He reaches, you post him up as you step, like that. Now, into his hips, drive to the mat, up, and away from your head.